Mm-hmm.
Yep. I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. We are live. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me well?
Good morning. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are you all ready for a wild holiday weekend?
If it stops raining, sure.
Are we expecting rain?
Every day this week.
I think until Wednesday.
Nope. Every day. Every day, Jack.
Next week.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Okay, next week.
Yeah, a whole week.
It's going to rain this week and next week?
Well, it's like 10 days, but like definitely solid rain for the next from now until Wednesday.
Awesome.
Actually, Thursday, Friday, and it's Saturday and Sunday again.
Board games. Trish, what is happening at your place?
My husband dropped something down the stairs.
Oh, I thought it was construction going on. Okay,
Well,
good.
Listen, you can't expect the teenagers to be up just yet.
No. The teenagers are home now. Is that correct? Are the children home now?
Yeah.
Children are home. Yours
No,
not?
Here's Jack.
My kids are in CCD camp.
Okay, but they're not in school anymore.
No, they're in CCD. Well, it is school.
It is all those poor things. You're making them go to school after school.
But my daughter said to me, she goes, "Mom, you're right. This is definitely better because my kids finished school Thursday, so they're still in school mode."
Yeah.
It would be like punishment if I was sending that. There's three week options.
Yes.
And you kind of first dibs whatever you get. And I always hope for this first week because I don't want them to go in August after a crazy June, July. I don't want them to have to do anything in August other than have fun.
Get it out of the way and then we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But they felt that alarm this morning, I'll tell you that much, because they had a crazy weekend.
It's always a crazy weekend. Is anyone doing anything fun this upcoming weekend?
Going to Cape May.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
Trish, and where are you going? Yeah, somewhere south.
To Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Awesome. So nice.
You're going to play golf. You're going to work on your golf handicap.
Yeah.
Cape May. First of all, you guys are obviously you're driving to Cape May. Cape May is supposed to be wonderful. When are you leaving?
Saturday after the swim meet.
Saturday. So you're going like later in the day.
No, hopefully by 10:30, 11.
You'd be better off by going later in the day. So, all right. So I'm hoping you don't get really messed up with traffic. Are you driving or flying?
Me?
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, which one? Trisha? Or?
We're driving.
You're driving. Okay. Yeah. Also, when are you leaving?
Friday.
What time?
Probably like midday, like later than we don't check into our house, our house rental till Sunday, but we're going to drive down and stop at a couple of different places along the way overnight.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, I hope you enjoy traffic. Because my sense is a lot of it. I dread it. I try to leave at hours where I don't hit traffic.
Yeah, typically.
But not everyone's like that. Maybe you'll have fun. You'll be singing 99 bottles of beer on the wall with so that's the plan, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's get started today. First of all, we're doing a cool promo. We're still doing our split rounds. The split rounds are awesome. People are loving this because it's so common for people to come in and they want to do a program, they want to lose weight, and they say to me, but I'm going away in 2 weeks. What am I going to do? And I say, have I got a solution for you? And then I break out the scale, the travel scale, which they think is so adorable.
So cute.
And yes, it's
Cute.
And
Until it falls back.
And people love the split round. Who's barking?
It wasn't me. I didn't bark.
Whoever's barking loves the split round also. So again, the split round is an opportunity. When we do a program, we start out with a detox, right? We have to clean things up. We spend most of our time making things not clean. And so generally we do that for a certain amount of time. In a split round, we can do it before the vacation, lose weight before then, detox before then. Then on the vacation, we try to keep it in a certain range, in a reasonable range. So, we're having fun, but we're not gaining it all back. But then on the other side, there's a solution. And that solution is the ability to lose more weight, do more detoxifying on the side of that. So it's really wonderful. People are excited. Anthony P. just left. He and his wife, they just left for Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's down like 18 pounds.
Wow.
And he's going to Spain now, and he knows in Spain, like I can't say no paella while you're in Spain.
Yeah.
I can't tell him not to have certain things. I can't say, no wine or whatever. So, but what I can say is, listen, here's the scale. Monitor yourself. Here's what to do if you go up a few pounds, right? So we keep that normal range. And then when you come back, we're doing it again. So he'll lose another 18 pounds when he comes back, and he's just really excited. And
we've had clients that have gone on vacation mid-program that have done this that just continue to lose. They just keep losing, even and enjoying themselves, eating, drinking casually, enjoying themselves, and they're still more aware of what they should and shouldn't be doing, and they make good choices and still enjoy themselves.
Yes, it is possible. They're in that mode. They like the momentum. Momentum is a thing that sometimes you don't want to mess with, right? You don't want to stop it. So yeah, we definitely have seen that in the past, and we'll see what happens with Anthony. I know he's going to do well. That's only one example, and I love these. I love when people go away and they come back and they say, thank God I did the program. I was able to walk. I wasn't tired. I wasn't exhausted. I wasn't wheezing.
Yeah.
I hear this in particular about places like the Spanish Steps in Rome. These are things that people wouldn't even try before. Now that they lose weight, they have less joint pain. They can breathe better. Now they can do it. And that is very gratifying to me.
Very much.
Speaking of gratifying, I've always enjoyed a good coconut milk or coconut oil latte.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jackie, today you wanted to talk about coconuts. You've been accused of being a little coconuts yourself.
A little bit.
So tell me, why is this our topic today?
Today is National Coconut Day.
What?
I know. I actually got excited. So I always look up to see what national day it is because it's always donut day and pie day and pizza day. And obviously there's always some surveys. I'm like, coconut day. I'm like, we never talk about it enough and how everybody should be having coconut something every day.
Jackie, what is the history of National Coconut Day? Did it have to do with the Indians and the Pilgrims, and did they all sit down and share coconuts?
I think it was way back on Gilligan's Island when it fell from the palm tree. When it came from the palm tree, it all started when? I don't know.
I'm surprised you know of Gilligan's Island. But so today's National Coconut Oil Day. What are we supposed to do? Are there traditions?
Nothing that I know of, but I think we should start one.
And what would that be?
Coconut oil, bulletproofs for everybody.
Or Creo Brew?
Let's talk a little bit about coconut oil then. Jackie, you mentioned something called the Bulletproof.
Yes.
We do not do Bulletproof coffee per se. Bulletproof is a brand.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that most people know about. And what you do is you take this Bulletproof coffee, and then they have this kind of oil that you get that's a distillation of coconut oil.
Mm-hmm.
And you put that in coffee, and generally you put in butter, right? You blend it up, and it's really delicious. So a lot of people have heard of that. We have our own brand of it. We call it H3 Coffee, Happy, Healthy, Hopeful. We have a recipe that we give to everybody who's on.
I'll share it today.
Yeah. What does everyone know about coconut oil? Like, why do we use it? Why do we promote using coconut oil?
It's a healthy fat.
Okay, that's pretty, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a healthy fat. Like, is that the only thing that we've heard? Corinne, have you heard anything else about coconut oil?
I've heard that like it's really good for like your teeth and like cleaning your teeth and doing like pulling of your teeth. I've heard that too, and I've heard it's got really good benefits overall.
Not pulling your teeth, being oil pulling.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, has everyone heard of oil pulling?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You've heard of what exactly is that, Jackie?
Oil pulling. So to remove toxins from the body, you actually take, and it's also, there is a method to it of how much oil you're putting in your mouth. Under the tongue, you're rolling it around, you're holding it in for a certain amount of time. It actually releases all of the toxins in your body and it pulls them and you put it out.
This is a fascinating thing. I was talking with one of our clients about this last week, and I can't recall who, but he was talking about oil. But no, I think I can recall who. I think it was Neil.
Oh,
I
really?
think so, and he was talking about it and some of the benefits he's had from it. I think it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I might be mistaken. And some of the benefits he's had from it, like
Oh, yeah.
he's had particular symptoms in the past that the oil pulling has helped alleviate.
Oil pulling is, if you really dig deep, it's kind of crazy, and it's something so simple that we overlook what it does for your body, but it benefits everything. It benefits inflammation, brain fog, aches and pains. It helps decrease appetite. It helps with sleep.
Yes, that's right. I think I may start a regimen of oil pulling.
I thought about it, and I never took the time to do it. You assume you do other things and you're like, oh, okay, I'm fine. And I always go back, and when I come across something, I'm like, I really should start doing this. And it's safe enough to do at home. It requires absolutely nothing.
Coconut oil.
Period. That's it.
All right.
They say when you do it though, you have to read the coconut oils and make sure that it's pure coconut oil
Yeah.
and that it's not filled with fillers.
Well, that should always be what you purchase anyway.
Right.
Correct.
It should always be raw.
Let's get into this a little bit. First of all, I think we should all do coconut oil pulling for a week or two and see what we notice. I think that would be fun. But let's talk about coconut oil. Like why, coconut oil is one of these things like kale and avocado. In the last few years, you hear a lot about it, right? You can't go anywhere without hearing about coconut oil. What is so special about coconut oil? Now, today is National Coconut Day, not National Coconut Oil Day.
Yes.
So there's more to talk about coconuts, but in particular, coconut oil, it's the only oil we allow on the program. It's the only fat. Otherwise, we're minimizing, at least during the detox portion. What is special about it? Well, it's known as a medium chain triglyceride. So it is a very different kind of fat, right? Medium chain has to do with kind of the molecules of it, like the structure of it, okay? So the reason it's different is because it kind of acts almost like a carbohydrate in your body in that it's burnt off very fast. So when you take it, it kind of starts the process of burning, of fat burning. That's why we use it. I liken it to kindling. Like when you're starting a fire, you want to get it going. You're kindling, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we use coconut oil. That's why Bulletproof uses a distillation of coconut oil, and it's become popular. There's a supplement years ago. I did this thing for a week where I just exercised like crazy and I ate a lot of vegetables. I used MCT fuel.
Oh, yeah.
Chain triglyceride fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Burns a lot of fat in a short time, right? Bodybuilders will do this.
Mm-hmm.
What else? So we're talking about oil pulling. We're talking about now how to use coconut oil to burn fat. What else comes to mind when we think of coconuts?
What about coconut water?
What about it?
Hydration.
I know it's really good for you and it gives you really good hydration.
Do you drink coconut water?
I have. Not on the daily, but I have drank it.
Not on the daily. You would if you were on Gilligan's Island.
I would.
I like it. Actually, I did Bikram yoga for years, and that was the first thing I would go to when I was done because it was just I would sweat so much. It was perfect, and I mean definitely an acquired taste. I love. There's pretty much nothing I don't like about coconut, but coconut water. Once you start to get used to it, you find the right brands where it's clean. There's nothing in it, and you can really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, I love it. Trish, apparently you're not a fan of coconut.
It's a particular taste. It's definitely.
I like coconut. Like I love like fresh coconut and coconut milk. I like coconut milk, like for like bases of like foods and stuff. But but to drink it, I just cannot. I don't know what it is.
That's bizarre to me.
I do not like the taste.
I'll tell you what it tastes like to me and why I love it so much. To me, it tastes like if you took watermelon and you put in butter, if you took watermelon juice and you put butter in it. Like it's sweet, but it's kind of buttery.
I don't taste the sweetness when I drink coconut, and I could be my pH could be off when who knows at the times, but when
I'm
I
very
do,
sweet, so everything I eat.
that's what it is naturally.
Yeah.
I think that when I do drink it, I have more of that. It's not. I don't have there's no sweetness to it. It's kind of dull the flavor, I think, but it's definitely there's a buttery texture to it.
But it also depends on
Almost
the
like
brand.
tallow.
It also depends on the brand, like you were saying. Hey,
Yeah.
if you guys are joining us now, we're talking about coconuts. It's National Coconut Day. So we've already talked about coconut oil. Now we're talking about coconut water.
Mhm.
Perhaps we'll get into the flesh. There's a lot going on with the coconut.
Yep.
It's not just that thing like if you're in the tropics and you know they fall down, they hit you on the head, which is a very common occurrence apparently. You know, concussions from coconuts. This is a major epidemic that's happening right now. But that aside, coconut water, here's the deal with it. We talked about it in terms of hydration. Do you guys know why it's so good for hydration?
I don't know why. No.
I do not.
Okay. So apparently the electrolytes in it, and electrolytes are like they're like minerals, right? So they're nutrients that have to do with they help water move into the cells, right? And also they have to do with communication between the cells. And they're kind of electrically active, right? There's a lot of electricity in the cells, which is interesting. But apparently, coconut water has the same proportion of electrolytes as human blood.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, this is unconfirmed. I have not tested this. As a matter of fact, I have not even read about it. This is something that I've spoken about with people. So I am taking their word for it.
Well, you know, it does. I'm sure it does have truth.
You're sure what?
I'm sure there's a lot of truth to that because they call it, it's a superfood. It's listed as one of those superfoods. You know, mother's milk, Mother Nature's milk. But I mean, the benefits of coconut in general: it lowers blood pressure, high cholesterol balances. It's high in magnesium, potassium. There's so many health benefits just to drinking it. Forget about even the flesh of it. So I believe it. It probably does. If the equivalent is that, it seems like it's well rounded, where you could have almost all of the nutrients you need from just consuming coconut daily.
Well, it's perfect. Listen, sometimes you look at the world and you all you see is kind of chaos. But then there are other times where you think about it, where it seems like everything has a purpose. Let's say we went out on a 3-hour cruise. And the weather's getting rough.
3 hours.
The tiny, a 3-hour tour, and the tiny ship was off. So if we ended up on that island, you know, we would have coconut. I mean, with that perfect electrolyte balance, you wouldn't want to drink water, obviously, from the sea.
No.
That would be problematic. If you were lucky enough, you would find streams. I'm assuming that exists, but you could survive very well just on coconuts.
Oh yeah.
You could be very hydrated just from the coconut water. So in that sense, it seems kind of perfect. Like it was perfectly designed for us.
Right.
I don't want to get too much into the spiritual.
That's another conversation, Dr.
Yeah,
Art.
but it just seems that way. Like in a lot of ways, it's a perfect food that supports us. Interestingly enough, there are some other ways to use coconuts and coconut oil. So what are some of the other ways that we've heard of to use this?
It's good for moisturizing the skin, eczema.
Moisturizing the skin, eczema, right? Put it on yourself.
It's a good disinfectant. So I've actually used it on my kids in lieu of Neosporin.
Are your kids infected?
No, but if they cut their finger or they get a cut or something,
okay.
I mean, there are little germs, but I mean,
it
They
has.
actually say it's.
What'd you say?
I was gonna say they say it's really good for animals actually, and like when the paws of like a dog are very rough and coarse, they suggest to put coconut oil on the palms of the dog's paw.
Okay, now I always suggest with animals though, if you're going to do it, you must be sure about it, right? Because there are certain things that people do with animals that it turns out is not so good for them.
Yeah.
You want to make sure, and I don't know the truth of that with the coconut oil, right? But yes, it has antifungal properties, antiviral properties.
Correct.
Coconut oil, right? It's
It can actually treat that, and tea tree oil combined will treat ringworm.
interesting. Have you used this? Have you tried it?
Hmm.
You have. So,
Mhm.
and what were the results like?
It diminishes.
Interesting. Okay. Well, tea tree oil is good for a lot of things also, but that's a
Mhm.
different
It's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Definitely should get into the oils because there are a lot of things that we can do daily just for a cleaner health journey. That very, very simple things that you don't even, we take for granted how easy it is to fix ourselves using basic things.
Well, I think you might be referencing essential oils,
Yes.
right? Which is a little different. Yeah, but there are all kinds of use for all kinds of oils. Um, how about your hair? Does anyone use coconut oil on their hair?
I don't, but my mom's a hairdresser. She owns a hair salon, and she has one client with very coarse hair.
Mhm.
And she uses it, and she does these masks. I mean, her hair is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
if we had someone here who knew a lot about hair, who was trained in that field, then we would want to ask her. So,
yeah, we should. I'll get my mom on.
first of all, what did you learn anything about
A
coconut
Trish doesn't count, Jack?
Yeah, of course she does.
when you were going through school, when you were learning to become a hairdresser?
Yeah.
Did you learn anything about coconut oil?
I will say no. I really didn't. It wasn't one of the major things, but as I went on, just in the salon education outside of school, it did have a lot of benefits, especially for like coarse, curly, thick hair. You wouldn't necessarily use it on somebody with, thinner, straighter hair. It was more like with texture, that and dry, coarse hair. You would use it mostly on.
I should use it.
Mm,
How about
very
dough?
I
beneficial.
don't know if it stimulates growth.
Yeah, how about dough?
Am I?
You know what doesn't stimulate growth? Making comments like that. You will find your growth will diminish quite a bit. Boom.
Yeah.
All right. So, and did you use it at all in your practice?
I didn't, but since being on program and stuff, I have used it in my hair, like on the ends of my hair to smooth it down because it's not something that's really it doesn't really absorb in, so it doesn't make it super greasy. So it's something that's more for smoothing if you're like styling the hair.
Oh, I never did that.
So
Yeah.
you use it on yourself now,
Mhm. Yeah,
but you haven't tried it on clients.
I haven't. No, I don't. Yeah, I haven't.
Fair enough. Sometimes we will have clients who come in here and coconut oil is their hair care treatment of
Correct.
choice.
Yep.
They even use it as body moisturizer.
Yes.
Body
Scalp.
moisturizer, yeah, you can put it on your lips. It is very quick drying, right? It doesn't
does,
it's
yeah.
very
Yep.
long. But Trish, do you know people now who use it a lot? And is there another purpose other than just kind of to moisturize the hair?
I actually don't. I've been like out of that setting for a while right now. So for me, no, I don't really know anybody that uses it. There's so many things out there, and when you're
Yeah.
working, it's kind of like medical. They push certain products, and they
Mhm.
stay away from more of the natural stuff. So it's the
Yeah.
same kind of thing, different industry. So
Well, I'll tell you something interesting. We have a resource we could ask about this. So I know somebody who used to work for L'Oreal as a tester of products.
Really?
So
Oh,
I
wow.
would ask if they use coconut oil. My sense is that they may not. I mean, it's pretty expensive, coconut oil, isn't it?
Well, there are companies now, Dr. R, especially hair care products, Trisha, I'm sure you've seen too, where you'll see like a healthier alternative that's more appealing now to the eye because that's the thing.
Right.
Everyone's talking about it now.
it's all
Even
vitamins for the hair.
hair vitamins, avocado masks, like
Hair vitamins, that's a thing.
Correct. A
yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of B vitamins for the hair, and believe it or not, a lot of D also, vitamin D
Yes.
and vitamin B for the hair.
Well, this is taking us down a little bit of a different path, but when we're talking about hair health,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not going to go too deeply down it, but how important is the topical compared to what's happening on the inside?
Well,
Well, I'm asking
The
you,
inside is always more important than the
I
topical.
would think more the inside, you know, taking care of internally first before the outside, definitely. You know, masks only do so much. A lot of these products only do so much. It's like a temporary Band-Aid fix, a lot of these products. They don't really do much. And if they did, they'd be hundreds of dollars, you know, where they were totally repairing. So I would say more have to fix internally before you really
Absolutely.
worry about the outside, you know.
I agree 100%.
Absolutely. You know, the healthiest part of your hair is your root. You know, that's the
healthiest
newest part of
part.
your hair. It's the healthiest part is your root. So that's coming from inside out. So everything is growing, pushing out. This is the least.
Yeah, this is all damaged. This is colored and damaged and blow dried.
Also,
Like it's all
exactly, it has
damaged.
to grow. This is what gets the most of it. So the new hair growth, same thing with your nails. Everything grows out, is pushing outward. So everything's coming up and out.
Yep.
So if you can't grow, I mean, you can have unhealthy roots. If you think about it.
well, let's talk a little bit about coconuts when it comes to the actual flesh of coconuts and how that's used. Corinne, do you like coconut flesh, coconut flour? Do you use this? No, not too much, right? Yeah, in this part of the world, I don't think we do that often. In some parts of the world, they certainly do.
My husband doesn't like it.
I think coconut in general is an acquired taste, and you really kind of have to like it, or like for myself, like I hate to say it, but like when I'm on program, I'll cook with coconut. Otherwise, I choose not to because it's just not an acquired flavor that I really love.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, by the way, just so people know, we always recommend if you're going to do coconut oil, you want to use raw, unrefined, organic. Having said that, there are some people who don't like the coconut flavor. There is refined coconut oil. You can still get a lot of the benefits from it, and it doesn't have the flavor. It's also liquid. You know, one of the things that people notice about coconut oil is that when it's below, I think, 80 degrees, it's a solid. So, and the texture is like lard, and that can turn some people off also, right? That's and some fats are like that. So, but refined coconut oil is a liquid. It's not, you don't get all the benefits, but you still do get a lot of the benefits from it. So Jack, Trish, do you guys ever, you know, cook with coconut flesh, coconut flour, anything like that?
I've never cooked with coconut flesh before. I've eaten coconut flesh before. I enjoy it. But I cook with coconut flour. I cook with coconut oil. I use coconut oil or coconut to a certain extent almost all the time.
How do you use coconut flour?
Flour, I've actually made biscuits. I've made pancakes. I use it as a baking resource. So I mean, I haven't perfected anything yet, but they're recipes that I followed, and it's delicious.
Does it work well? I mean, first of all, does everything stay together if you're making?
It is not. The texture is definitely very different. You have to get used to it. I haven't had tremendous success with it being perfect to save, but in terms of it being edible, delicious. You know, no issue with that. I made it and it's worked for that. But shifting wise, saving wise, it doesn't really hold up very well. Not to say that it won't all the time. I think it's that I have to get used to using it because I don't use it that often. But I have quite a few really good recipes that I would like to try that I've just saved. I'm like, that sounds really good, and just hold on to it. But I do try.
Can you try like a couple this week? Because I'm really curious. I'm going to try something. Yeah, I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people use alternative milks these days.
Yes.
And they'll use alternative flours. Because obviously, you know, white flour is not the best thing for us. Dairy, a lot of people have issues with.
Yeah.
So of these alternative milks and these alternative flours, the most common is generally, I feel like, almond milk.
It's universal.
Right. Then there's also like oat milk, for example, and there's obviously soy that's been around for a while, and they all have issues. You know, to a different extent with different people, but a lot of people are very sensitive to certain chemicals that are in those nut-based flours or nut-based milks. Coconut, on the other hand, is not like that.
No.
So every morning, when I come into work, I have a coconut milk latte.
I love coconut. It's so good.
It's the best, right? It doesn't
Mhm.
upset my stomach.
No,
It's you get the advantages of those good healthy fats from the coconut milk. It's delicious. The consistency is great. It's very
Yeah.
creamy.
it's very
Very-
filling.
Yes. So I would really love to know, and unfortunately, like if you get keto pastries, they're usually with almond flour.
Yeah.
Almonds are a common trigger. We've talked about this before for weight
Mhm.
gain. They cause inflammation very often in the body. For me, it's definitely a trigger, and for a lot of people I know. So,
Mhm.
Jack, that's why I'm so curious to see
I'll
how.
try something. I keep it in the house. So I'll try something. I'll make it. I'll bring it to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I had coconut flour like for about 10 years in my cupboard, and ultimately I had to throw it out. I never used
Well,
it.
I
So,
mean, and same thing for Corinne and Trisha. Have you ever bought it to try to make anything?
No, I've only base for soup or something.
It's funny, like you could definitely do like a Thai version of something. It's
Mhm.
great to
oh,
have in the
that's
house.
fine. Yeah,
You could thicken up
Yep.
the soup with it. It's tomato soup. You can add to it and kind of make it with a little curry powder mixed up. It comes out delicious. But it's when you touch it, it's almost like it's very light and airy.
yeah.
So you have to get used to I tend to overuse because I felt like I'm not used to that texture.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's
Yeah.
where my issue would lie. But in terms of taste, once you start to incorporate it into specific things like sweets or things that should have a sweet or lightened flavor, it really does change everything.
I have no doubt that the taste is there. The question I think cooking with it is probably the consistency.
It's
Yeah.
not easy. It's not
Right.
easy. I'll pull up something good.
Yeah, yeah.
My
Let's mention coconut sugar. Now,
Oh, really?
honestly, I don't know much about coconut sugar in terms of the nutritional value.
I don't know.
Yes, I
I know
don't know.
nothing about it.
Here's the question when it comes to sugars. Obviously, all sugars have sugar. That
Mhm.
includes coconut sugar, right? The question is, are those sugars kind of mitigated once it's in the body? So, in other words, the problem with simple, sugar that's processed from sugar cane is that when you eat it, immediately like insulin spikes up like that, and then it goes down.
Yeah, I don't. I would wonder. I don't know.
Yeah. What I'm hoping for, and I'm pretty sure that coconut sugar is better in this regard. I don't think you get that same level of spike. I think it's
It's it.
extended more,
Possibly.
which makes it better for you.
Well, I just read, Dr. R, the level of fat content is the same. So I think doesn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, having a high volume of fat in that wouldn't that help stabilize instead of the dip?
That should mitigate and stabilize it.
Yeah, so
Absolutely. Now, to what degree, I don't know.
I don't know. And
And
how
I've
much you're
never-
using.
Yeah, exactly. I've never used coconut sugar. I don't think. I mean, I'm sure I've had it here and there.
It
but I
tastes like
never
brown
really
sugar.
used it. Yeah, it tastes
I
like
have it
sugar.
also. It tastes like almost like sugar in the raw. You guys ever had sugar in the raw?
Mhm,
Or like
mhm.
refined, it has that flakiness though of like a brown sugar. So it feels like a little bit of moisture is in there. It's very light. It's good. It's the same thing though. Definitely acquired taste because I think personally it's sweeter than the taste of real sugar.
Mm.
Oh,
So
wow.
you almost don't need as much of it, but it doesn't leave an aftertaste. It's very light. It's definitely good as a dusting, but like my mom has celiac, so this is something that she does use. So she'll alternate, and she's not a huge. She doesn't put sugar or anything in her coffee really. Like she'll use a flavored creamer of like a coconut milk creamer or something like that. But for baking and stuff, she uses it all the time. She loves it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's interesting. I should look a little more into that. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, ultimately, like I said, sugar is sugar.
Yeah, totally.
But they're, so you don't want to do a ton of it.
Mhm.
And the thing with sugar is that it's concentrated, right? So when you get it as part of a whole coconut, you've got all these other things involved.
Balancing it out. Right.
Figure it out exactly. Yeah. Nature works as a symphony, right? It's not a solo artist. Everything
They
is
have their own method.
it has its own thing, right? And that's what we were saying. I mean, if we get stranded on that island, we're okay just doing it. We don't have to worry about processed foods and candy bars and such. So
Sure.
let's end off now. I never thought that we could go on so long about coconuts.
I got really excited about it. I was like, oh my gosh, we push coconut. You all need it in your diet every day.
Coconut is apparently a miracle. I mean, we don't need anything else. Plus, you could use it for self-defense.
We get angry, we'll just take the coconut and throw it.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, and you know the cool thing also, like if you throw it at someone and you hit them in the head, it makes that funny sound. Right? You make that great
There you go. That's
coconut hit
it.
in the head sound. So listen, Gilligan was stupid, but he wasn't crazy. He knew what he was doing, and obviously the professor was good too. So let's end up
Absolutely.
here. Next week, obviously, we're talking about the holiday. So next Monday is July 3rd, my mother's birthday. Please remind me to her something.
Happy birthday.
So next week on Monday, I think we're still going to have some version of a live. I'm not sure how long it'll be and whatever. The good news is people are home. They can watch. Whether they want to is a different question. Actually, a lot of people are away as well. So there will still be something, okay? All right. We'll see you next week.
All right. See you
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.
next week.
Take care.
Bye.